Well, to start off, I would like your mailing address.
Mailing address.
Yeah.
Oh, here at the
Like,
station?
or like your email address.
Oh, email.
Yeah.
Right. They do that now. Just do jstreet at sbgtv.com. I don't know if you're going to send me flowers or something.
Nah. And the job title?
Video journalist.
Your background, like where you came from.
I grew up in Houston. I was in a kind of a bubble growing up, a suburban, upper class kind of deal. And I burst the bubble as soon as I could and got out of there. How far back do you want me to go? Like I went to Bear Branch Elementary School, and no, I'm kidding. You don't need that much, do you?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I grew up in Houston, went to college at Texas Lutheran in Seguin. Go Bulldogs. I forgot what the hand signal for Bulldogs was. I think no, that's Claw.
This is Texas Lutheran.
Texas Lutheran, that's right.
Was that a master's or
No.
bachelor's?
No, yeah, just a bachelor's. Credit where credit is due. I did minor in theater, though.
Experiences, like with the news.
Oh, what do you mean? Like, I've had all sorts of experiences. I've ridden a sea lion. I've gotten prank called by Tom Cruise. I've just went down a cave. That was an experience. Are you talking about, like,
No, yeah, that's fine.
work experience?
Yeah, work experience.
Oh, okay. If you're talking about relevant job experience, I got a job as a reporter for a radio station my sophomore year in college. It was up in New Braunfels, and they handed me a microphone and said, go find some news. So I went down to the river and interviewed girls in bikinis.
And is that what made you change your major?
No. What made me change my major is the fact that I'm terrible at math. Otherwise, I would be an astrophysicist right now. I blame my 8th grade algebra teacher. She was terrible.
The typical day on the job, like the activities and problems like that you go through.
Well, typically I start my day off getting interviewed by college students. No, it's very atypical. Typical day, come in, get in this room here. This is where we do our news meetings on this big screen that we've covered up with this very nice red cloth. And we figure out what we want to do for the day, and then I go out and shoot it for a while, find an interesting person to interview them, find out a little bit about their story, and then I shoot the video to make their story come alive on screen, and hopefully we find a little bit funny in there too, and bring it back here to the station, throw it all together, and hopefully we make air in time. Sometimes it's closer than others.
What about benefits and perks that come with the job?
Same thing as experiences, because that's really what it is. You know, this is not a field that you're going to get into and make a ton of money. You know, I've been in it 10 years, and I can tell you, be it radio, print, TV, very few people make a lot of money in this. What you trade that for is experience. You know, like I said, I've had amazing experiences in this job. I've gotten to go and do junkets in New York and stay at the Waldorf Astoria and eat $25 cheesecake. You know, I've gotten to meet celebrities and figure out what makes them tick. And I've gotten to see things from vantage points that most people ordinarily wouldn't get to see.
What about the salary range for starting employees?
Don't expect much. Journalism is weird, especially TV journalism. If you're trying to start out in TV, this market, we're a top 50 market, so it's going to be more difficult to get in here than if you went to a market that, say, was outside of the top 50. Me, I started in New Braunfels in radio, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a much smaller market, so that's how I was able to get my foot in the door. But starting salary, normally you're a stringer, which is your hourly, and you're part-time.
Any advice for joining the field, like the skills you need or knowledge and internships?
Internships are a great way to get your foot in the door, but they don't always lead to a job right away. My best advice for college kids watching this interview is to go out there and do something. right? Give yourself an opportunity to be noticed. You see kids on YouTube now that have 4 million followers. I'm showing my age here. I forgot his name. There's this guy. He hosted Shark Week this year, and he started off on YouTube, and now he's hosting Shark Week, which I love Shark Week. So, you know, that's the springboard for this generation.
So what about websites you would recommend? Like websites that you use?
FoxSanAntonio.com for all your news needs. No, I'm
writing it. I wrote it.
All right. So it's no. What do you mean? What websites I would recommend?
Like, do you have any websites you use personally to get your news from, or stories?
Oh, I mean the ones I like Reddit. I like Fark. You know, just the weird news stories, but those aren't really local. You know, for my local stuff, I'll either rely on Facebook, people just on my wall, on other people's walls. You know, I troll. I'm a merciless Facebook troll. And then also just, you know, the local news sites, you know, if you're looking for that kind of thing. So, I mean, really, yes, FoxSanAntonio.com, your only source for local news.
What about trade publications you read, like any magazines?
Well, I mean, the Express and the Current, you got to check those every day. Those aren't really trade publications. I don't subscribe to like videojournalist digests or anything like that. So you find that, or I find at least, that I don't have a ton of time to read, and when I do read, I'm either looking for stories or I'm reading something to stay up on pop culture.
Yeah.
You know, so
not that many then.
No,
hardly ever.
Well, not trade publications. Like there are a couple of email groups that I subscribe to that are photographers and reporters, and they swap tips and tricks and things like that. That's probably the extent of it, you know. But I will say, if you want to get into the business, reading the small amount that I do read, it does give you kind of a flavor of what it's like. That and Overheard in the Newsroom, if you know what that is. It's a feed for Twitter and Facebook, and they just post funny things that people who work in newsrooms say. It's good for a laugh, if nothing else.
That's pretty much it.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a very full notepad there. I think that's at least a B+.
At least.
Right there. At least a B+. Maybe an A-. I was expecting, I have to say, different questions. None quite so probing as my mailing address. You need to put an E in front of that, actually. Emailing address. Much better. Yeah, there you go. Now it's an A-. Now it's an A-. No, you did good.
Thank you.
Yeah, traditionally in these, close with a handshake. Good job, man. Good job.
Thanks. That's it.
Yeah, we should probably turn these cameras off.
All right, cool.
All right.